This is day 33. Um, I'm reading Reader Come Home by Marianne Wolf, page 131. The lap gap, the first 2 years. From both a cognitive and social emotional perspective, I want the first 2 years of reading life to be the childhood equivalent of Julian of Norwich's beautiful exhortation, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. You see, everything counts for something when you read to your child. There is almost no end of good in what you are contributing to the various components of the reading brain circuit. Each component part needs to be developed individually over the 5 years before a child learns to read. Simply consider that every single book on intrepid trains and sassy pigs, not to mention the little mouse that hides somewhere new on every page of Goodnight Moon, helps convey one more piece of information about the many underlying concepts surrounding those little inhabitants of childhood. All of this will lead the very young to learn how life and words work. There is no better way for children to learn how words work. Much of my research concerns what I described in Letter 2 as the representations of information that are the basic elements and the components of the reading brain circuit. When you read to your children, you are exposing them to multiple representations of the sounds or phonemes in spoken words, of the visual forms of letters and letter patterns in written words, of the meanings of oral and written words, and so on across every circuit component. The young brain is setting down representations of this information every time the child hears, sees, touches, smells books. When your toddler begs you to read the Runaway Bunny or Thomas the Tank Engine or eventually the Olivia and Madeline books over and over, she is adding one exposure after another that information, which is exactly what strengthens and consolidates all those representations. It is the stuff of conceptual and linguistic development, even though you might not come to think it the stuff of something else entirely after the umpteenth rereading. Just remember that it is both contributing to the concepts and words your child knows already and laying the base for what comes next. Analogical thoughts builds within those well-worn pages, and language development flourishes. When you speak to your children, you expose them to words that are all around them, a wonderful thing. When you read to your children, you expose them to words they never hear in other places and to sentences no one around them uses. This is not simply the vocabulary of books, it is the grammar of stories and books and the rhythm and alliteration of rhymes and limericks and lyrics that are not to be found anywhere else quite so delightfully. All of these earlier experiences provide the ideal beginnings of the reading life. First and foremost, human interaction and its associations with touch and feeling. Second, the development of shared attention through shared gaze and gentle directives. And third, daily exposure to new words and new concepts as they reappear every day like magic in the same place on the same page. Yet why? Some of you must be asking right now, can't a child learn just as much, if not more, from the far easier repetitions of words and concepts that digital device can effortlessly provide, not to mention the endless variety of other ebooks and stories available there? Here comes the elephant in the nursery and the first of several concepts for you to think about in my ideas for the first steps in the reading life. One of the characteristics that anchors the earliest experience of reading is physicality. Another is reoccurrence. How easy is it to go back and repeat what that mischievous monkey did? And screens for young children have neither. As Andrew Piper wrote in Books Was There, Reading in Electronic Times, the digital page is a fake. It is not really there. Physical pages are the underestimated petri dishes of early childhood. Pages give physical substance to cognitive and linguistic repetition and recurrence, which provide the multiple needed exposures to the images and concepts on those pages, which are the earliest entries in the formation of child's background knowledge. I want children to experience the physical and temporal theranees, theraneess, God damn, temporal theraneess of books before they encounter the always slightly removed, slightly ersatz screened, ersatz. Many very young viewers all too quickly are literally and cognitively left to their own devices, to be continuously entertained by a very flat thing which possesses neither the lap nor the voice of their most beloved persons reading and speaking just to them. And both Andrew Piper and Naomi Barron argue reading isn't only about our young children's brains. It involves their whole bodies. They see, smell, hear, and feel books. And with a knowing, indulgent parent, they taste them too. Not so with the lapless screen. Putting an iPad in one's mouth is just not the same. Seeing, hearing, mouthing, and touching books help children lay down the best of multisensory and linguistic connections during the time that Piaget aptly christened the sensory motor stage of children's cognitive development. Okay, I should stop here. And this was Minky. Please correct me if you can. Thank you.